Hi everyone, welcome back on Curiosities of Staffordshire. Today we're in Longnor. We've just come up the road from Hollandsclough, if you were following those videos, and we're standing in front of the main market square, and we're just going to have a quick look around the town, and it's a few interesting features in the village. It's rather quiet today, to be honest, but on the weekends this place sort of transforms a bit more, becomes full of like walkers and ramblers and that kind of thing. But today we're going to take a quick look around. Okay, so here we are in Longnor, just outside of the main market square. Longnor became a market town sort of around the turn of the century, around the same time that lots of market towns were springing up sort of in the Staffordshire Moorlands area, and they all had different days for the markets, so they didn't have sort of conflicts of interest and people knew where to travel to, because I guess back then the roads weren't quite so good. Oftentimes they're still not great, to be honest, and so it made it very difficult to travel to market. And the interesting feature here is that it's still got the original plaque of market tolls at the top, and if I zoom in we'll hopefully be able to read them a bit better. So it sort of lists the price of like every stall of various sizes, and it also lists like commodities, sort of like cows, chickens, etc., and like the costs of the tolls so that people couldn't rip you off and that kind of thing, and just kind of standardised the whole market procedure. And now for my next trip we'll head up to the church to have a look at the tale of an interesting local resident. Okay, so we just come up this charming little cobbled alleyway, and if I turn the camera around, we're right in front of the churchyard now, and we're just going to go in and take a look. Okay, so here we are in the churchyard at Longnor, here to look at our first little curiosity. Can you spot it? I'll give you about 5 or 6 seconds to have a look. Okay, time's up. I'll point it out anyway. There it is, can you see it? Uh-oh. Yeah, resigned to God we, here to earth command, a tender mother and a constant friend. Blessed are the children who such mothers have, as smile in death and triumph o'er the grave. Yeah, I used to get in a lot of trouble in primary school for doing that, if I'd missed a letter out. And yeah, I guess the price of stone being what it was, I guess the sculptors couldn't really afford to just buy a new one. So I'm afraid it'll have to do. Okay, we're back, and this is the main thing that we came to see in the churchyard here at Longnor. And this is the, I guess, heartwarming tale of a local boy done good. It's Longnor's probably most famous local resident, and certainly the most celebrated one here in the town. It's the story of an old soldier named William or Billy Billinge, and it says at the top there he was born in a cornfield just outside the village here in 1679, and it lists the story of his rather celebrated military career. It says he enrolled in the army at the age of 23 years. Under Sir George Rooke, and fought during the taking of the fortress of Gibraltar in 1704, and later in the Battle of Ramil in 1706 during the War of the Spanish Succession, where he was wounded while fighting under the Duke of Marlborough. And after returning home, he later answered the call of duty again in the Jacobite rebellions of 1715 and 1745. So he had quite a long and storied military career, I guess, and it says rather touchingly at the bottom he died within 150 yards of where he was born at the age of 112 in 1791. And yeah, it's what a remarkable story. And this gravestone here is actually not the original, but the original was replaced around about 100 years ago due to the love that the residents of Longnor have for their hero, and this is more or less an exact copy of the original, and hence the old style S/Fs and the rather confusing writing. But yeah, I tried to do a little bit of digging myself about this man, but unfortunately, sort of like the Forces war records don't really go back that far. They're not really many detailed records sort of before the Napoleonic era. So this epitaph is basically more or less all we have on the life of this man, and it's quite touching that the residents of Longnor went to such an extent to preserve his memory. It's a very, very nice tribute, and I'll take the camera in for a closer look so you can read it yourself. I'll just have a quick shot of the village / town itself. I keep alternating between town and village because I'm not entirely sure what it is, to be honest, because it's so busy on the weekends, yet it's so sleepy during the week, you know. I guess it's what you would call a market town still. I'm pretty sure it still has a market some days. So we'll go with market town, and it's a very, very charming place.